Hello guys, and welcome back to, I believe, the fourth entry in my 12 movies. If it's fifth, I apologise. I don't know where I'm at. So this is a movie I actually watched a couple of weeks ago and completely forgot to do a review for. This is a movie recommended to me by a friend called Hannah, who doesn't have a YouTube channel. She recommended the 1973 movie Paper Moon. Now this movie is set in 1936, it's black and white, so it does have the whole feel of being very much older. It does have a very old feel as to how people talk and stuff. I was really shocked that it was 1973. I sat down to watch this knowing pretty much nothing about this, so let's get into the plot of Paper Moon. So it's 1930s Kansas, and a young girl called Addie has just lost her mother. Her mother has died. A gentleman called Moze is tasked with transporting her across the country to relatives after the death of her mother. Now she's only 9, and on the way across, this guy Moses that had been tasked with bringing her to find her nearest relatives is actually a con man, and he attempts to dupe her out of money en route. Now Addie is only 9, but she is certainly not slow onto what Moses is trying to do. She's a very quick-witted little girl. She's very much a tomboy. She dresses like a boy. She looks a lot like a boy. She is like a typical little rascal. They actually decide to team up together as a swindle, with the child being there playing his daughter. It really fools other people into taking him a lot more seriously. One of his swindles is to try and sell Bibles to the wives of recently passed men. He will tell them that the husband ordered it for them. He wanted it embossed with their name. These Bibles he picks up pretty cheap, and he's selling them to these widows who thinks this is one of the last things that their husband ever did before they died, ordered this beautiful Bible for them, and he's swindling these women out of a lot of money. So that's basically one of the swindles that they do. That's a bit of background. So what I discovered was this movie actually stars a real father and daughter. Tatum and Ryan O'Neal star in this together. And this movie is about how they meet. It's about the swindles that they pull. It's about them sort of duping and double-crossing each other. It's about them getting to know one another, forming a kind of a relationship, and about them eventually getting to the end of the line, getting to Addie's relatives, and having to say goodbye to one another. So this movie is implicitly acted. Tatum O'Neal in this is fabulous. She was actually, did she win or was she nominated for an award for this? Now, what I read in the trivia for this, which did upset me quite a bit, is that her father was actually, I think he did beat her for being nominated for an award, because he was angry that she was nominated and he wasn't. So that was a bit of a, she was obviously the big star of this movie. She was absolutely fabulous, and her father was nothing but jealous of her success and how good she actually was. And he really did take out his frustration at the fact he hadn't been nominated on his daughter rather than be proud of what she'd accomplished. Did put a bit of a dampener on the movie, I have to admit. I could have done with not reading that. Kind of like when you watch The Wizard of Oz now, knowing how Judy Garland was treated during the filming of that. This is a really good movie. It wasn't 100% up my street. I do think that story about the father and father and daughter did cloud it a bit for me. There are certain older movies like It's a Wonderful Life that I absolutely am in love with, and I'm sure there are a lot of people that adore this movie. When it was put on my list of recommendations, a couple of people did say it's a fabulous movie. It is very well filmed, very well made. It does feel very old-fashioned. As I say, it's set in the 30s. It's filmed in 1973, but you would never know. If you like older movies, then I would say definitely give it a go, but it's definitely of its time. It feels very dated. I will say the performances are fabulous. The relationship between the daughter and father, well, the real daughter and father, but these two characters, it is implied that she could be his father because her mother did have relationships with different men, him being one of them, so he could be her dad. But watching that relationship between the two form was the best thing about the movie, and obviously the acting was fabulous. I would recommend this to anyone that likes that kind of movie. It's not one that I would go out and say to everyone, oh, you really must watch this, it's fantastic, because it will just appeal to certain people. And I was kind of in the middle and about it. I think I gave it a 2.5 out of 5, possibly a 3 out of 5, I'm not remembering. I do recognise it was a good movie. It just wasn't exactly the sort of thing for me. My husband watched it with me. He really enjoyed it. So that, just to give you another person's viewpoint, I think I was always going to be clouded by that thing about the father and how he treated his daughter when she got that nomination. I can't remember if it was a nomination or an award that he didn't get. Just flabbergasted. So yeah, guys, that is Paper Moon from 1973. I still have, let me just open, but right, so I've watched Stay, Paper Moon, Airdoll, Heart and Souls, and Excalibur. I have still to watch Double Dragon, that one that I can't even read, that Adam, Houseboat Horror, which Adam's already told me is terrible, so I'm not looking forward to it. Cats, which the world has told me is terrible. One Crazy Summer, which I haven't been able to get my hands on yet. I'm still looking for. One which I can't see me being able to watch unless Leo, you can point me in the right direction. Vampire Journals, which Leo from Geek Legion of Doom recommended. I can't find it. And Return to Paradise. So I shall obviously next week be back with another one of those. But until then, thank you so much for watching, guys. Over and out from Lisa Loves. Thank you.